Okay, guys, talking about oceans now. So remember, our whole um, segment for science is all about water. So we talked about the water cycle, we talked about tides and currents. So now we're going to move on to oceans. Okay. So there are, if you can see that, there are major oceans. We know the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, and the Arctic. So Pacific is the largest and the deepest. And guys, this is such an amazing fact if you can picture it in your head, okay? So if you mush all the continents together, so I wish you were here because I know you know your continents: North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia. I don't know if I left something out, but you can figure it out. LOL. So if you mush all those continents together and put it on the Pacific Ocean, there will still be some water left. So that's how big the Pacific Ocean is. So it's the largest and it's also the deepest. So we have the Atlantic. The next slide will show you exactly where it is. And we have Indian and we have the Arctic. Now, the Arctic is obviously the Arctic, you know that that's in the North Pole, and this ocean is the smallest and the shallowest. Okay, so our next slide will be a visual of where everything is. Okay, so we have the Arctic Ocean, the shallowest. Okay, the shallowest and the smallest. We have the Pacific. Now, if you remember again how I explained, when it's a flat map, you know that this and this, if you cut this up and paste it together in a form of a circle, that's your globe. So that's why don't remember what I said. Don't be confused. Why is there a Pacific here and a Pacific there? It's just only because it's flattened for you so you can see clearly. Okay. So just like an orange, if you peel it, you can flatten it, the rind down. But if you pick it up and you put it all together, it's a circle. Okay. So Pacific Ocean is here, and we already said that it's the biggest and the deepest. Now, here is the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. So here's us, North America, South America, and then here's Europe over here where they crossed. Okay, when the colonists, you remember when they crossed this, they crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, now here's the Indian Ocean, and then again like I said, it's the same ocean, but that's the Pacific over there. So you might be asking yourself, Mrs. McCullough, what is the Southern Ocean? Okay, so the Southern Ocean is guys, really basically the the southern parts of these three oceans, so the Indian, the Atlantic, and the Pacific. So the scientists were saying, we'll just call this the Southern Ocean because they didn't really know, where is the Pacific Ocean on this end? Where is the Atlantic Ocean on this end? Where is the Indian Ocean on this end? So they just said, we'll just call this the Southern Ocean down here. But really, there's four major oceans. Okay. So as the Southern Ocean is just a term that they use for the southern tip of the Indian, the Atlantic, and the Pacific. So, but the four major, again, is Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and the Arctic. Okay. So just to make sure that you know that. Okay. So now we've talked about the oceans. Now, what about what's under the ocean? Okay. Is it just all sand? Is it just all coral? Actually, I'm sure you know this, but it is similar to the rest of the Earth's surface. So if you suck up all the water from the ocean, you're going to see valleys, you're going to see mountains, you're going to see plains, and we're going to be talking more about that. So some the islands that you see are tall enough mountains in the ocean that pokes out of the water, and that's what forms our islands. while others are completely submerged. That's why you don't see it in the surface of the water. Okay. Now, during World War II, just a fun fact, just something so that you'll know about this. I love fun facts. So during World War II, while ships hunted enemy submarine, the ocean ridge was discovered. So what is the mid-ocean ridge? So the mid-ocean ridge is a long ridge of mountains found in the middle of the ocean floor. So in the middle of the ocean floor, you're going to see a series of mountains side by side that forms the mid-ocean ridge. Okay? So, this is what it looks like, the ocean floor. We're going to be talking more about this, but I just wanted to give you a visual of what it really looks in like in the ocean floor. Okay? So there's ridges, there's islands. See how it's poking out? See how it's poking out of the water? So that's one of the things. And this is the trench, okay, the oceanic trench. Okay. So trench and valley, okay? So I'm sure you guys have heard the Mariana Trench. It is in the Pacific Ocean and it is the deepest valley. So not only is it the deepest valley in the ocean floor, it is actually the deepest part of the earth. So it is the deepest part of the whole earth. So it's really really cool. It's super super deep. So it's 11,000 miles deep, or if you convert it, it's 36,000 feet deep. Okay. So, again, fun fact, if you take out Mount Everest and you plunge it down in the trench, it won't even peek through. That's how deep it is. Okay. So, we're going to be learning about uh, a scientist. He's not really a scientist, he's more of like a businessman, but he was able to he's the guy that went down the trench. I think he went down 35,000 feet. Now obviously he was in a machine. So we're going to be learning about him just for a fun fact. Okay, so what I want you to remember in this little lesson is that there are four major oceans and there is an ocean floor. Okay, so we're going to be studying more about that as we continue. So when you're done listening to this lesson, if you want to review it, you can listen to it again. And then I will just have a very few questions that you can answer in Google form and then just send it out to me. Okay. Bye, guys. It's so weird to teach this way because I don't get to ask you questions or answer. And for me, that's really the hard part. But we'll make it work. We'll try, and Mrs. McCullough will try to um, spice it up, and I'm always thinking of how it can be fun for you. So learning and having fun is always good, right? Anyway, bye guys.